Hey guys, welcome back to Merry Men Trading. This is Ben. I hope you guys are doing really well. It is Saturday, February 6th, 2021. I have been asked a couple times about like kind of my investing strategy and how I find stocks that I'm interested in trading. This would include trading options as well. What are some strategies to find good hot stock picks or hot option picks? And so I'm going to go through that today, kind of share that with you. If you're not familiar with our group, probably most of you are, but if you're not familiar with our group, make sure you give us a like. And we a lot of different guys in the group share different trading ideas, things that they're involved in right now. And as well, if you have questions about trading or investing or anything like that, we talk through some of those things as well. And so we're always welcoming new people into our group. So real quick, I'm going to talk through with you today some of the ways that I screen for hot stock picks, things that I'm looking for. So I've got a few websites pulled up here. The first is FinViz. I've talked about this in other websites, other videos. But if you're unfamiliar with FinViz, there's a couple things I really like about this website. First, they have this heat map. You can go look at this heat map, and it shows you like basically some of the biggest name companies and some of the biggest sectors of trading, and shows you kind of how they did. So you kind of get a feel by and large. Like yesterday was not a good day for semiconductors for some reason. I could go look into that. I don't really care to for this video. But, by and large, it was a really good day on the stock market yesterday, not for healthcare plans, but whatever that is. But anyway, this is a really helpful website. I enjoy using it, and it's free. So if you're just getting started with trading and investing, you can use FinViz. Now, one of the frustrating things about using the free version, there's plenty of advertisements, as you can see, and so you'll see plenty of those as well. But what I like to do is go to the screener tab. I'm gonna give it a few seconds here. So now I'm at Stock Screener. So basically it's giving me 384 pages of 20 different stocks right now. And what we can do is we can narrow down what exactly we're trying to find. And so a couple of things that I would encourage you with, especially as you're getting started out with investing, don't trade in any sector you don't understand. Like for instance, one of the guys, Zach, you've seen on the videos, he's studying to be a doctor. He's a really smart guy, and he understands science and pharmaceuticals really well. And he's made a good profit off of some pharmaceutical companies. I know nothing about pharmaceuticals, and so I don't really trade pharmaceuticals. So don't trade anything you don't understand. There's a couple of things that you can look into and do it that you can get involved with. Or even learn about. But by and large, I would say don't trade anything you don't understand. Secondly, I would say trade what's hot. The last really 20 years, we've seen a huge ramp up in technology. And so for what we're doing today, we're going to be talking about momentum screening strategies. And what we mean by this is that we're looking for companies whose stock has a lot of momentum pushing it forward, or companies who we think have a lot of potential to grow a lot in the next few years. So as we think about that, some of the main ones are technology, maybe some consumer cyclical or consumer defensive sectors as well. But those are the things we'll be really focused on. I'm not going to narrow down for just yet, but that's a good start. I would also say that we would probably want to look. I think it's good to start with anything over the price of $20. Sure, there's companies that are less than $20 who have some potential to them. However, that doesn't mean that we can't get in later when they're more stable. And so I like to start with companies whose stock is above $20 a share. Then I like to go to the fundamental tab. So if you go up here to the fundamental tab, there's a couple things in here that I think are really important. And these are what tell us that they're a momentum trading stock. first, their sales growth over the past 5 years has been over 20%. That means they've returned over 20% in revenue year over year for the last 5 years. That means they're doing something innovative or something that no one else has really started doing, and or they're the leader in that market. So then I also, sales growth quarter over quarter, I set that to be over 20% as well. What I'm looking for is a company who every quarter their revenue is growing by at least 20%. What I want to know is that this isn't a company who's doing really well going into like in Christmas, but they're crappy the rest of the year. And so I look at sales growth quarter over quarter. I think that's a really important thing to look at, and something I've just recently started looking into on my trading is I like to go to the net profit margin, and I like to set it as positive. So that means they're bringing in a profit at least. Now this is not the be all and end all. I would also say that you don't have to set these parameters, but what this shows me is that the company knows how to handle their finances pretty well, enough that where they're turning a profit. Now there's plenty of innovative companies out there who have not yet begun turning a profit, and so I would say this is not, again, the be all and end all, but I like to do this because this is a good sign that the company knows what they're doing. So the next, I will go over to the technical tab, and this is evaluating the stock's technical analysis, basically, that the stock is performing as kind of it should. And there are times when it doesn't, and stocks don't do that. Maybe it's a bad time for semiconductors, for instance. But for this purpose, I want to see that the stock is trading above, or at least performing the way it should. So what I will do is I'll come over, and this is the only thing I'll set. It's the 50-day simple moving average. And what I want to see is that the 50-day moving average is above the 50-day 200 moving average. So a perfect example of this, we're going to go to look at Apple stock. I've talked about TradingView in the past on my videos. If you're unfamiliar with TradingView, you should familiarize yourself with it. It is also a free website as well. I've got Bollinger Bands on here right now. I'm going to get rid of that. And what I can do is go up here. I can go up here, go to exponential moving average. And what I'll do, this is a good tutorial for you, is I'll click on settings. I will set the length here at 50 days. And the source is at the day at close. Style, and put a blue line. Then what I will do is I've clicked on the EMA twice, so now I'll set the second one at 200 days. Set the close, change the pattern color to nice red. So now what we see is, sure enough, with Apple, for instance, TradingView is another free website, and you're going to also get a lot of advertisements as well. But what we see with Apple as well is the blue line is trading above the red line. The 50-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average, like we were looking at here. And then what we want to see is we want to make sure that the stock is trading above the 50-day moving average. If it's trading below, that's not a good sign. That could be indicative of a downturn, that this thing may have reached its peak and it may cross back down. So what I would probably do here, for instance, is sell out. And you can see here on October 28th, there was a big sellout. The next day it went above it. Then the next day it went down below it again. And I would probably wait till like somewhere in this range to make sure it's going to stay above. And I mean, sure enough, every time it hits that 50-day moving average, there's a bit of a sell-off. And so I want to make sure that I'm trading above the 50-day moving average. Apple, by and large, is, you can go back and zoom out, and it's been this way since April of 2019. It's been trading above the 50-day moving average. It's been above the 200-day moving average. This is called a golden cross. Now, if we see, what's a good one? If we were to go back and look at another stock, we'll go here. What we may be looking for is something like, so here was the golden cross right here. This, on the other hand, when the blue line crosses below, is called the death cross. This is a bad signal, and you don't want to be investing in Apple at that point. So we want to get involved when they're trading at, highs. And you say, well, why would I want to get in there? Because by and large, when a stock is trading near its all-time high, everyone who's ever invested in the company could have made money at that point. But meanwhile, if it's turning red or going down, then that means people will be selling out along the way to make their money back. And so we want to be looking at something whose 50-day moving average is trading above its 200-day moving average. So from there, we've gone off of, it's over $20 a share. It is over 20% sales growth the last 5 years. So over 20% sales growth each quarter of those 5 years. It's turned a net profit above 0%. Technically, the 50-day moving average is above the 200-day moving average. And this has narrowed down from 384 pages of stock picks down to 4 pages of 20 picks. So 80 stocks that we can look into. And so from here, the choice is really up to you, and it's based on your preference, what you understand, what you want to get into, all these different things. You can sort by industry, but what I like to do is I like to sort by price. I like to start at $20 and go up and start looking at different things. And so some of the sectors I'm looking at, or the industries I'm involved in trading right now, are residential construction, so consumer cyclical is the sector. I'm in packaged foods because I'm in Simply Goods, right? Simply Good Foods. I think there's a lot of potential there. These, by the way, are I'm just telling you what I'm investing. This is not stock advice. You should probably talk to a advisor at some point. Technology, I'm big in right now. PagSeguro is one company. Yeti Holdings would be a perfect example of what I think could be an innovative company, because their coolers are innovative compared to the way anybody else is making coolers. A big one for me that I've made a good amount of money on so far is apps. Digital Turbine. I got in originally, I think around $40, $50 a share, and it's up at 88 now. They just had their quarterly earnings report, and it came out very, very good. And so these are the kind of things that I'm looking for here. And so from there, what I like to do is, let's say I'm starting to look at, we're going to say Yeti. Let's take Yeti. So then what I like to do, and this is me personally, I like to go to Yahoo Finance. And I really like to just look up their profile on Yahoo Finance. Any company you can enter here. So they're trading, they closed yesterday at $72.92. And what I want to see is, so this is the current price. The one thing I'm looking for here, we can see their revenue compared to their earnings. They're making money as a company. They've got a lot of recommendations, 6 strong buys, 5 buys, no holds, or underperforms themselves. And then what I'm looking at is the price targets. Now this is not make or break necessarily to a company, but I like to see, because what you may find, and you'll find this quite often if you're looking at the right company, is their stock is underperformed thus far compared to where people think that they have yet to go. And so at that point, I kind of like to get in. And the reason being is because immediately, like they're saying this stock is oversold, and so there's already like this opportunity to make money if it just gets to the price range of what analysts say it's supposed to be at, and that's not even basing the future growth of that company. And so I really like Yahoo Finance. It's again free to use. You can see everything you need to see here about that company. Another website you can look at is Barchart, barchart.com. You can look at this stuff for free. You can go to stocks highs, and it'll show you 52-week highs. So these are companies who are coming off of a 52-week high. Another way you can filter through and look for some companies is if they've had all-time highs, and you can go there and look at some of those things as well. So this is kind of the way that I like to screen my stock picks. See if there's anything else I should show you. From there, I'll take you over to E-Trade. From there, if you go to E-Trade, what I like to do is you can again use this idea for stocks or for options, and I do a little bit of both. So go here. So like for instance, CCS was a company that I screened originally, and their stock came up. Started looking at, I got in at $43 a share. It's at $58 a share. So there's a lot of different. PagSeguro, I told you about options in PAGS, and right now it's at 262.5, I think is the asking price. So that's just kind of how I like to screen for stocks. And this is a really good way to screen for momentum trading. So again, this is not, if you're into dividend trading or ETF trading or any of those sort of things, this is probably not up your alley. However, if you want to get in on companies where you could make 100% on your returns, at least through investing, this would be a good strategy to use to screen your stocks. So make sure if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video or in the Facebook group. We'd be happy to cover them. If you have any other insight or questions as well, you can email us, merrimentrading@yahoo.com, and we would be happy to cover that as well. If you have any questions or even just some insights along the way, make sure you hit us up. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video, subscribe to our channel, and that helps us out a lot. We would really appreciate it. Coming up on February 19th, we'll be doing a live stream call where we talk about our performance trading for the month of February, and just kind of celebrate our wins together and mourn some of those losses as well. So if you'd be interested in doing that, hit us up, let us know. We'd love to let you join the group. So have a great day, have a good weekend, and we'll see you soon. God bless.